So in the last video I explained the ancient civilizations according to their rankings on an intergalactic scale, which is the Kardashev scale. There I said the only way to get that enough power to progress to the different types from one to the other is through a Dyson swarm, which is basically a bunch of solar panels or mirrors focusing their lenses on the sun or the host star and transmit that solar energy to a central hub. From there, that energy is transmitted to different planets or different places, and thus we can exploit our actions. Now, how do we build them? I didn't say that. A Dyson swarm, how do we build it? Well, we can't really build it on Earth since it's a lot crowded and like 70 billion people live on it. So over 70 billion people live on it, I say. And it's really crowded and we can't just buy a separate land which is completely empty and we use all of that. That costs a lot of money. But we could use it on Mercury since it's metal rich and we can get all the materials from it to make solar panels or mirrors. Now, we want to automate as much because humans are very fragile and they can get crushed or die easily. So we want to automate as much. So we're assuming that our descendants are going to take care of this, and we are assuming that we're using 1 kilometer mirror or solar panel. I'm using solar panels for this. And using that only tiny amount of energy that is transmitting the energy to Mercury to automate everything. So it's also solar powered. That's pretty cool. So it gives that energy to miners. So it's divided into 4 parts: miners, refiners, builders, refiners, and then finally the transmitters, I would say. So the miners, they power and they mine all the minerals to make such material. By the way, we need like 10 quintillion to at least make a Dyson swarm. And we need 30 quadrillion material, so it'll take at least a decade for the whole thing, of course. After that, they give this material to the builders. They build out the raw material. Along with the refiners, they make it very refined, very new. Like the table you see all the days, you can see the books. They're made of fine material. It's not raw material, it's fine. So out from that, they make also the solar panels. It's actually origami shaped. So when they're passed on through the transmitters, it's very easy. And of course, through the transmitters, you might be thinking, hey, how are they going to launch it? Isn't that a lot dangerous? But we're doing it in another way. It's like those guns and you shoot. Through that, it just gets shot and it's very fast. Like similar to that, we're using an electromagnetic tube, which actually uses electricity to. So first we put that kind of machine, the origami machine, and we put it inside the jet tube. We load it up and we shoot it. So it shoots very fast, and that allows it to go to the sun very quickly and surround it. Now, we're only making one, and one thing I didn't discuss is that we can't actually just make it. That would take a lot of time also. But one thing we can do is that we can make one origami sheet, and out of that another one is there. From there, it makes these two work together to make the next two, and then 4 makes 8, 8 becomes 16, and so on. So using that within a decade, it would be surrounding the sun, and it could transmit that power. So through a machine, it could process that energy through a beam and pass it on to the central hub, which is Earth. But we do need to make a station there so we get all that energy. I just hope they can handle that much. So that's actually it for a Dyson sphere, because it's actually, scientists don't say that it is not actually important, but it's actually easy. And that's why they believe that Dyson swarms are all over the stars, but we just haven't discovered them yet. And that's why it gets me all out of bed. Well, that's it for me. And it's me signing off.